I heard that the Nexus mods website are under new management and ownership. I also heard that their adult mods require age verification if you live in the UK or the EU, because they have laws against that, I guess. Some Stellar Blade mods were also removed, like this one over here, as reported by YUCKY Mods. Do not click the tweet to look at what type of tattoos he's defending the removal of. Ooh, scary. What is the censored mod again? It's a tattoo mod showing how Eve is a property of black males. I guess they prefer black domination for their 18+ content. It's really nothing that special. I do find the black and white babies a bit weird. I don't know what's up with that. Shouldn't they be on her stomach and not legs? It definitely carves a certain niche, but I guess because the niche is racial in nature, Nexus doesn't allow it. But other mod websites like YUCKY Mods do allow them. And that's when I found out that NTR black domination is a thing that the author likes, or at least likes to do with fictional women. Hey, I'm not judging. People have their fetishes, but do you believe that there are people making a moral outrage out of this? Out of all the things they remove, this is a rare Nexus Mods win. Ah, yes, celebrating censorship, which I remind you that is not exclusive to one political side. At least when you tolerate censorship, you acknowledge that it's not a good thing, and I respect that way more than outright celebration. Celebrating it is just you blatantly telling everyone that censorship is good when it happens to things you don't like. It's gross and yucky. Gross and yucky? Are you 5? I'm pro censorship if I get to decide what to censor. Nice principles you got there, brat. Uninstall Twitter X right now and go back to playing Roblox with the rest of the fetuses. If you're still in the adult space, then I'll remind you of how you're going to be treated here. You would think that classic traditional moral outrage would not be a thing that happens in the modern times, but you would be wrong. Of all the things to get outraged at, this is definitely not on my bingo. You sick freaks watch this for fun? Yes, I already spoke highly of Final Destination Bloodlines, 14 years since the last installment, and it absolutely delivered on everything that I wanted out of a Final Destination movie. It's shocking, it's gory, it's creative, it managed to be a great blend of horror and comedy at the same time. It's everything that I want out of a Final Destination movie. Clearly, some people didn't get the appeal and decided to call us sick freaks for that. This whole channel is filled with sick freaks, apparently. How dare they celebrate movie deaths, right? Man, the people who made this new Final Destination sequel really hate white people. What the flying hell are you talking about? Did we watch the same clip? There are black people in that clip. One of them died in a pretty horrific way, and one of them is a major character in the series. Level of Inglorious Bastards gleeful death. Inglorious Bastards? Why reference that movie specifically? Gleeful death is why people watch Final Destination, but referencing Inglorious Bastards is an odd choice of a movie considering that most of the people that die in the movie are, well, Nazis. Do you not want to see Nazi deaths? Or are you referring to gleeful death like that propaganda movie, In the Movie, where the Allied soldiers are killed left and right by that sniper played by Daniel Bruhl? I've said before that these movies are gross and genuinely bad for the soul to view. All around evil stuff. That's right, guys. Final Destination, the series, is evil. I mean, I get it if you don't see the appeal of the movie, but to call the whole thing evil is just another installment of classic moral outrage in play. These people are not going away, guys. Classic moral outrage always comes from the right-wing side, and this one is no exception. Yes, I'm a trad right-wing anime LARPer. Yes, I only watch anime twice a year. Don't worry, guys, these classic moral outrage warriors and tourists are getting more and more common once they know how to use social media. And plenty of them are not trolls. They are the real deal. Yes, I co-opt immodest anime to preach purity and piety. Yes, keep doing that. I'm sure that'll work out great for you as people continue to produce anime you find morally reprehensible. Yes, we will ban porn and have hentai illustrators broken on the wheel. And you wonder why people aren't religious anymore. Cry about it. Christ is Lord. You don't get to tell us to cry when you're the one crying about anime. Bad things are bad. I agree, which is why people despise your presence here. You are bad. Moral outrage is stupid, whether it be classic moral outrage of things being demonic or evil, or the modern moral outrage of things being racist or sexist. But I can tell you this for a fact, it's not morally outrageous for you to click the like button, comment, subscribe, and leave some tips through any of these means, including YouTube membership, links below. Thank you to all the sponsors this week, you are all fantastic. ChatGPT and AI bros in general are making people dumber, as certain studies find, or at least if it's being used inappropriately. In response, this AI bros showed that there are many other things that make people dumb, such as movies, TV shows, Google, and most definitely video games. Tech-induced brain rot has happened before, and it's unreasonable to create such a societal panic out of this. The thing is, all those articles you cited are still true. Watching too many movies or TV shows and playing too many video games can definitely rot your brain and make yourself an unproductive member of society. This is not to say that movies or TV shows should be banned, it's just that they are good in moderation. And then there's Google. I'm not seeing how Google is making people dumber, or at least Google in its purest form when it wasn't infested with AI summaries and garbage results. At its purest form, Google, or any other search engines in general, help people find information way easier. Google can be misused, as shown in the If Google Was a Guy series. Check them out, they're hilarious. We're not trying to make a societal panic out of it. ChatGPT and AI chatbots have been proven to make people lazy. That's not to say that they're bad. If they are used correctly, they can be incredibly valuable for the right people. My brother used AI to generate questions for his test. That's a great way to use AI to make you smarter. It's a matter of using AI correctly and responsibly, just like any other electronics. This is a calm AI bro response, but there are worse responses out there from the arrogant AI bros. This AI bro wants to own those awful AI critics with this incredibly bizarre video.
Ban AI! Ban AI!
Do you realize that it's pronounced AI, right? Not
AI!
Did you not check your AI generated results before you post them? Oh no, wait, of course. These AI bros don't check their work. This is how AI generated art got more and more yellow, and none of them try to color correct them. The video then continues with the buff muscular guy handing the blue-haired land whale a dumbbell with the word logic, but she's a land whale, so she can't carry the whole thing. Wait, did this AI video just said the N-word? Did she turn black all of a sudden? Is someone saying the N-word? Is this supposed to be an own? I don't feel own, I feel very confused. All these AI bros are seriously causing people to go back to traditional roots. You'd be shocked at the amount of people going full traditional nowadays. Just saw a guy in the library writing an assignment. No Grammarly, no ChatGPT, no Turnitin, no open tabs, no notes, just a Word doc and nothing else, like a sociopath. There's nothing sociopathic about that. That's just how people do their assignments before AI and all that is a thing. Also, if he's in the library, then it's reasonable to assume that he has books. Those books are his open tabs before open tabs were a thing. Have you ever wondered why browsers have bookmarks? Yes, that's where it originated from. I have to explain this to the youngsters because they don't get to research topics on the library using books anymore like in the good old days. Then again, neither was I honestly, so leave that guy in peace. Moving on from AI hooplas, we have some really bizarre hooplas. The monetization of social media has led to people making ridiculous ways of censoring words. My bad, I don't like the romanticization of pedophilia. That is the most absurd way to censor the word pedophilia. Bro, just say it how it is. You're not really monetizing your comments or posts. You're just protecting the feelings of people whose feelings are honestly not really that worth protecting, if you ask me. Aside from bizarre censorship, there's also this bizarre pet peeve of someone, but before we get to the pet peeve, let's talk about Godzilla. Godzilla Minus One is easily among some of the best movies released in the last few decades, and I absolutely love it. It's a phenomenal movie with a lot of emotional punch that truly excels in a human storyline. The success of this movie includes winning an Oscar and scoring smash box office records while having a $15 million budget. I swear, if I see someone say $15 million budget one more freaking time, Wow, this guy is pissed. I mean, if you are pissed that this misinformation is spread around, I genuinely want to know the truth. Is it actually more than 15 million, which made it significantly less impressive compared to any other blockbusters? Or is it significantly less than 15 million, which made it way more impressive? How much is the actual budget for the movie? Around $10 million. What? All this rage over a $5 million difference? Granted, that's a lot of money, but in the context of blockbuster movie productions, $5 million is a marginal difference that really isn't worth all that all caps rage. If the real budget turns out to be $100 million, then I totally get the outrage. But a $5 million less than reported budget didn't really correct any misinformation. It just makes Godzilla -1 more impressive. I've had to deal with misinformation on a matter of 2 years, while I've had to deal with all sorts of misinformation that people believe for the rest of my life. You're not special. Get in line. And finally, let's talk about tech stupidity. I'm glad that we are in support of genuine American-made products that are actually made in America compared to the ones made in China, but at least be practical about it. Trumpmobile is another installment of right-wing grifting that reminds me so much of Eric Finman's Freedom Phone, where you are freeing yourself from the big tech by submitting yourself to the big government instead. Last time it was a Chinese phone, this time it's also another Chinese phone with dubious specs that promise quite a lot for $499 with a phone that actually costs around $169. A nice number, but good lord, it's dumb. I get having that American pride of making your own products, but at least have those products be actually made in America. Shirts, sure. Grado headphones, definitely. Mobile phones? Yeah, not a chance. And that's all for the video today. Here's the cat. Don't forget to check out my previous videos here. Click the like button, comment, subscribe, leave some tips, just $1 down below. And thanks for watching.